Earthkeeper Stargate Videos presents the following. The amazing purification and manifestation energies of the first half of 2015. A year of Crucible Astronomy. Offered in love. All rights duly reserved to earthkeeper.com. Namaste.
The Astro Crucible of 2015. The April 4th full moon lunar eclipse. Archangel Metatron with Tyberonn of the Pleiades. This message is channeled by James Tyberonn of Earthkeeper. Greetings Masters, I am Metatron, Archangel of Light. I am joined in this session by Tyberonn of Crystalline Service. We greet you in a vector of love. Masters, we share important information in this gathering. Information specific to the present time. We speak of two incredible eclipses, and a mega equinox. The equinox of March will have a potent coding that extends into the tandem eclipses, the total solar of March 2015, and the total lunar eclipse on the full moon of April 4, 2015. As always, it is for you to discern what resonates for you, as well as what does not, in this message that we bring forth, for you are indeed masters in the making. Dear ones, 2015 is absolutely an enthralling year astrologically. Such astro events in this beginning phase of the new planet Earth are designed to be so, for an incredible transition is in place. And we tell you that the changes are being supported, embellished and transacted by means of astronomical patterning and solar radiation. Occurrences that occur annually, such as eclipses, solstices, equinoxes, trines, planetary alignments, comets, and meteor events actually began taking on crystalline geometric coding from the initiation of the 2009 cosmic trigger, and these embellishments are now gaining astonishing momentum in 2015, year 3 of the new planet Earth. Year 3. The Mayan calendar foretold of a new time, termed the Fifth World. This prophecy was put forward many centuries ago, in the astronomical assertion, that a new Earth, under a new sun, would begin in 2013 at the end of 2012. And indeed the crystalline grid emerged at that time on the 12-12-12. December 12, 2012. The planetary grid and planet rebooted soon afterward on the 21st of December 2012. Our measurement then is based on the timing of the new Earth matrix, not the speed in which humanity adapts to the shift. For indeed not all humans will shift into the new pattern, and the calibration of those that do, is qualitative, not quantitative. It depends on the light quotient and focus of each individual, you see. This is quite logical, is it not? The 2012 ascension was the planetary graduation. The ascension of humanity in mass is many years in the future. It is now, from this accurate perspective, year 3 of the new planet Earth. 2015 is a time in which you are recalibrating to the new crystalline energies. How quickly you adjust will depend on each individual's light quotient. Masters, astronomy implied into astrological science is, as your Edgar Case stated, a valid endeavor. It is a science in its purest form, but the accurate interpretation is a spiritual art, requiring true devoted study as does any science. We are not speaking of daily news horoscopes, most of which are for purposes of entertainment, but rather of a benevolent science of trends, accompanied by devoted study and interpreted with intuitive clarity. Study turns art into science. Codes of shift. Astronomical patterning alone does not reveal the full scope of the shifts. But the astro patterns do provide the template and matrix for the codes of upshift to be inserted, and such codes are attached through the equinoxes, solstices, solar flares, and especially eclipses. Accordingly, a portion of what we share includes that which cannot be fully seen by mere planetary angles. For we tell you that there is an unseen element in your new Earth astronomy, and that is the unity of spirit coding and the collective higher intent of humanity. We wish to assure you that nothing is happening on your planet which is not on path. Many will doubt this, but we differ. Again, we emphatically assure you that the cleansing that is surfacing is requisite for what is to come in 2038. Thus far over the past 12 months you have experienced a quadrangle of solar and lunar eclipses, and these are culminating on the total solar eclipse on the March 20th equinox, followed by the full moon total eclipse of April 4th, and June solstice. From the equinox of March until the solstice of June, you are essentially in one emulsified energy. One that is sandwiched between the September-October 2014 equinox tandem eclipses, and the September-October 2015 equinox/tandem eclipses. These are by no means ordinary. By no stretch of the imagination are they mundane. And these are further greatly amplified by the massive injections of radiation via solar wind and solar flares, prompting the coding of the new Earth in what may be termed the Aquarian shift. The Astronomy of Purification, the stellar crucible. In the past few weeks, there have been 4 enormous coronal mass ejections, technically termed as CMEs or solar flares. These were massive in scope and potency, and included a Super X2 class solar flare, and an X class C solar flare. These have an energy amplification effect of a full moon times 20. But along with the matrix of intensity, the solar flares provide a template for coding the new Earth, and are modifying the ionic ratio of the planet in a manner that percolates unresolved emotion to the surface, for requisite clearing. You are in a phase of crucible astronomy. The codes are around upshift, and upshift cannot truly occur without clearances. The madness you see around the planet is part of the clearing. This occurs in macro and micro, for equally in your personal lives, your unresolved issues will surface in the upshift. Do not expect the current turmoil on the planet to come to a quick end, but do understand that what is happening must be resolved to move higher. If you are expecting a hopeful message, you will not be disappointed, for we tell you that as difficult and unlikely as the naysayers may see the present conflicts, what is happening now will lead to the resolution. The March 2015 super eclipse and equinox and the total lunar eclipse of April 4th. And so we bring in the energy of Tyberonn of the Pleiades, of crystalline service, to discuss the implications of the Astro code occurrences. Greetings. The equinox and dual eclipses represent a very powerful time for the awakening to truth on both global and individual levels. This is an utterly intense astro frequency, and provides opportunity for contextual review of relationships, partnerships, and indeed your relationship with the 3D world. We have spoken of the global situation in our recent message, referenced the 2015 message to the United Nations, and the focus of this message is then on the individual. It is a time to consider the review and prioritizing of relationships which hold you back or prevent you from being your better self. If you are partnered or associated with another that disapproves of your spiritual work, or consistently denigrates you, this is the time to put those in order, and this means either changing the agreement, or in a worst-case scenario, you may consider releasing the contract. Eclipses signify shift, and in this time you have the potential to experience profound revelations in these areas. Accordingly, this phase also brings up distortions in your own actions versus ideals. It is the perfect intensity for considering the way you perceive, evaluate, judge, and act. It is time to review value systems that may be in conflict with higher ideals. This will involve relationship agreements and attachment. This is pushed to the surface in the Venus-Uranus square Pluto in Capricorn, triggering the Uranus-Pluto dynamic, and is further amplified by the equinox to solstice build, exponentially magnified by the total solar eclipse, and the total lunar eclipse on the full moon of April 4th, and of course further intensified by the ongoing solar flares. And, we wish to emphatically restate, that the eclipsical events, the tandem mega eclipses, are in truth one unified energy, within an even greater energetic frequency phase, that extends all the way to the solstice of June 21, 2015. New beginnings. Accordingly, the phase between the March 21 ecliptical new moon and the total lunar eclipse on the April 4 full moon is then, perhaps, the perfect time for new beginnings. Although in the unpredictability of the Uranus-Pluto square alignment, courage and strength may be required to overcome the lethargy that can occur in all of these intensities from the March equinox through to the June mega solstice, there may indeed be certain astro phases in which you feel overwhelmed, and you may feel like you are stuck in molasses, but this can, for the courageous and astute seeker, be overcome through intent and willpower. With focus you can absolutely spring forward in the ecliptical energies. There are absolutely grand opportunities for the determined seeker to advance. Venus-Uranus trine in Jupiter retrograde creates a grand fire trine. This fire trine offers you courage and strength, toward taking positive action, toward manifestation of your higher intent. This essentially can amplify focal energy and will give strength to those who persevere in seeking betterment. Venus-Uranus are also sextiled, and these are energies which further support you in moving past codependent traits. The vibrational bar is being raised exponentially in terms of the planetary frequency through these astro-ecliptical episodes. They are events of enormous downloads. As the Earth rides further toward apex apogee, and astonishing downpours of astrological zingers rain in, most empaths will feel the waves of intensities beginning to crest, thus creating an emotional high tide. And at this point, we wish to emphasize that all astrological energies are frequential patterns, frequencies that can be used either for the positive or for the negative. The determining factor, dear human, is you. Your power of will, your willpower is stronger than any astro pattern. Accordingly, it is you. It is you that is the X factor. But we emphatically assure you, the bar is being raised, but you, yes you, are absolutely capable of expanding for the better in these amazing coded energies. Your role as Earth keepers and light workers is to be the change. So as we have just told you, the March 20th super equinox on its own would be a sufficient intensity to create spikes around emotions, but in 2015, the equinox is embellished to the tipping point, as it is juxtaposed with two total eclipses and amplified exponentially by potent coronal mass ejections. So dear human, find and maintain your balance. Do not allow the energy to overwhelm you. It can absolutely be optimally managed. Yes, there are plenty of squares and unsettling astro alignments, but there are also some brilliant trines in play. There is no need to crash over the edge, quite the contrary. With a little focus this can be brilliantly navigated. We repeat, you not only can learn to optimally manage these intensities, it is required of you to do so, because these will continue for the next years. None of these potent astro occurrences are totally one-sided. Quite the contrary, indeed, this equinox to solstice phase is chock-full of yin-yang, representing the perfect reflection of duality. And there are many tools for the aware seeker to benevolently grasp and utilize. For both humanity and indeed the planet are receiving supports from all the cosmic forces, in these astonishing astro events. We repeat, you are being supported fully. You see, the codes of the solar flares and eclipses do not just contain the seeds of surfacing the unresolved energies, there are also included codes that provide the tools to accomplish this requisite resolution. There is what may be termed as energy packets, to borrow a term from your video games, which can be absorbed and strengthen you. There are codes of courage and insight to allow you to not only overcome the intensities, but to thrive at a higher level. These contain the tools of betterment, and the shift of humanity. The transition of mankind as a species will be accomplished first on the individual level, by being the change, and that is your role, dear one, to be the change. The sun is bathing the earth and humanity with new rays of benevolence. The sparks of crystalline cognition are beckoning in brilliance. The earth is teeming with new codes, new energies and flexing its expanded dimensional matrix. Of course it is intense, it is cosmic adrenaline. And so with the intensity on the planetary at a high pitch, it is absolutely imperative that each of you maintain an intact auric sheath to avoid the pitfalls of energetic short-circuitry. Jupiter and Saturn. There are two major planets currently in retrograde, Saturn and Jupiter, and Mercury only recently went direct in early March, so the aftermath of the Mercury retro is still in play. But do not think retrogrades are all negative, for these offer focus potentials. In the current retros, are exquisite opportunities for consideration of life purpose and relationships. And in the mix are solar and eclipsical downloads to enable the strength in facing the issues. The key is to face the issues and recalibrate. We told you in 2014 that the planet is entering a unique phase that is specifically purposed for the requisite surfacing of unexpressed frustration and negativity. It is unresolved energy. And it is all around you. There are wars, riots and protests. And these are surfacing and percolating to a boiling point. And although some of you may not be directly experiencing these problems, other than seeing news reports, you may nonetheless actively be part of the resolution by focusing and co-creating highest good. You can do your part in resolving the issues that touch you and helping those around you. So rather than be discouraged by what you see as devolution, choose to be active in the transition. Be the alchemist that changes lead into gold. The truth is the Astro events. This crystal-electromagnetic cocktail is doing exactly what it is meant to do. The key is staying balanced, and stay focused in equilibrium, and doing your part to be a better person, to live a better life, to focus on highest good and to respect and nurture one another. The eclipsical window. The frequencies of the present eclipsical window have an inner framing of 28 days, but the elongated intensity will persist through the June 21, 2015 mega solstice. Keep in mind the eclipsical window is a 28-day spread, 7 days prior and 7 days after the March 20th zenith. And it then is reactivated 7 days prior to, and 7 days after, the total lunar full moon eclipse on April 4, 2015. The four major apex date points are, March 20th, April 4th, May 27th and June 21st. But in truth the extended phase from March through June has an amalgamated frequential unity. Astro-energetic gravity waves are similar throughout this entire period, with a certain natural ebb and flow, in line with lunar phase cycles. We offer overview and suggestions. Emotion is highly amplified, and there is an undercurrent of tension that may allow for unfortunate overreactions, an excessive expression of distortion and false impression, and as such lead one into a knee-jerk reaction, and create a scenario of inappropriate, and even offensive action. In this energy, it is easy to misinterpret another's intent or to overreact, thus making mountains of molehills. On the other hand, do not seek to hide away and merely wait out, in safe refuge, the ongoing intensity, by surrendering into apathy and inactivity. Do not be lazy, do not hide away in seclusion. Rather take the opportunity to utilize these enormous energies for co-creation, to manifest the positive, to meditate and then take action in highest good. Being conscious, being studiously aware of the attributes and characteristics of the astro-gravitated influences at hand, can be of assistance, and allow you to manage patterns and situations optimally, and thus help you prevent an uncomfortable emotional confrontation, one that could otherwise be avoided. If issues surface, deal with them, seek resolution. Don't bury them or they will simply fester and find another perhaps less manageable, uncontrolled and inappropriate release in this crucible energy. For in this phase, resolution is the better option. because what does not serve you is being percolated to the surface of your emotional and mental fields. Instead of harboring negativity, find a way to complete it, to convert it into clarity through resolution. Masters, focus on creating a better life and in so doing, a better world. And this, dear hearts, is absolutely the optimal way to use this magnificent crucible energy. This solstice is teeming with a new influx of life force and you can use it wisely, or you can amplify scenarios that should not receive your focus. Do not fall into self-condemnation or depression as the retrogrades project their opposing wave flow, rather use this to go inward and recalibrate into the great and greater you. The potent magnitude of the gravities are very real. If your auric field and emotions are not optimally managed or kept in balance, this can be a difficult time. The intensities are quite extreme. But the wise steward can utilize this amazing energy to focus on intent, for the life force units within these energies are absolutely amazing. It is a perfect time for creating your benevolent desires. A perfect time for seeking perfection. The sacred wheel. Dear hearts, we have told you before that love is required to master the university of earth. And that love is incomplete without strength. For the divine science of creative love involves all that you consider honor, integrity, discipline, compassion, wisdom and determination. For you are learning creatorship. The sacred must include the scientific, and the scientific must include the sacred. As a person of faith, your covenant must be bound to the integral circle. As a person of science, you must develop the wisdom of faith, and embrace the unseen laws of belief, in the infinite Taurus, the eternal wheel. Dear human, you are sacred scientists learning the physics and nurturing intricacies of love. And love, dear hearts, is a complex and sacred science. It is not an emotion in this context. Love is the absolute key to moving higher. And we say again, we are not speaking of the emotion you think of as love. Rather we speak of the science of love. Closing. Completing the earth plane is achieved not by strength alone but by perseverance. Persevering may involve failing 9 times, before succeeding the 10th. Masters, never forget that the earth plane is a purposed illusion. One that humanity collectively co-creates. The University of Earth is a credentialed course. It has great value, and like all valuable curriculums, it requires effort to complete. Humanity in the mirrors and mirages of the physical world, wears filters that separate you from your higher self. You often feel so lost, so separated, so alone. In all of your searching you will eventually find that the only thing that makes all of this bearable, is loving one another. Love. In the interesting world of free will, you are capable of such beautiful dreams, and such horrible nightmares. But this is the way of discovering your divinity, your true roles, as the responsible creators of your fascinating reality. The earth plane is an illusion, but a very real one. The emotions, the pain, the lessening feels very real because if it did not, you would not grow. But it is the beautiful moments, the love, the joys, the successes, that will define and underscore your memories. It is the love that will last eternally. Only the love is real. So let us tell you that this all will have a happy ending, and let us assure you that in time you will know that there was a reason for everything. In time you will realize what an extraordinarily beautiful experience the earth plane provided you. A lesson learned, then another, and another. With filters removed, you will love, unconditionally love and blissfully cherish, every single step of this truly extraordinary journey. You will remember the exquisite sunrises, the symmetry of the leaves on a regal oak tree, the colors of autumn, the twinkling stars in the velvet blue midnight sky, and the laughter of children. Dear human, we honor you. We tell you that this is the way it has been done for eons of time, small moves, one step at a time on the way home. You are closer than you realize. And we of the angelic realm lovingly await you, and we are leaving the front porch lights on, for your heralded return. It's much closer than you think. Masters, we honor you and we bid you joy. You are truly beloved. I am Metatron, and I lovingly share with you these truths. And so it is.